Mbale Express TV tukwaniriza nnyo webale kubanga ate otwegattako mu kaseera bwe kati tuba tukyazizza abakungu ab'enjawulo kuva mu ofiisi ez'enjawulo abamu baba bava mu gavumenti naye abamu ba private sector. Olunaku olwaleero tukyazizza omukungu okuva mu SSB Shield Security Bouncers era ng'ono ye pulezidenti waabwe yabakulembera bonna yadde oyinza okulaba nti mubiri tekuli naye ebikolwa mu ebiri akasente bwe kali ate omugagga teyeetaaga nnyo kusitula nnyo byuma ye omulimu gwe gwa providinga funding so olwaleero gwe tukyazizza era nga tujja kumusaba yeyanjuleko naye nga tanaba kweyanjula nina muganda wange wano mwami Kolobya musajja munnamawulire ate nga content creator omulungi ennyo mu ggwanga erya Uganda. So let our guest mwagamba nnyo nti mwagala nnyo oluzungu tululeese kati. So today we are hosting the president of SSB, that is Security Shield Bouncers, which is located in Mbale in the Bugisu sub-region in the country of Uganda. Today we are going to discuss mostly on issues of financial literacy. What is the importance of saving? Why are youths of nowadays not developing? Is it because they have not been sensitized enough, or there is another reason? So we shall ask our guest to introduce himself, and then the program will continue. Don't forget, we are at Mount Elgon Hotel, and that beautiful lady has just been serving us with a drink. So in case you have any business, you have someone you want to hang out with, I think Mount Elgon is the best place to be during your free time. Thank you. Welcome to the show. Introduce yourself, sir.
Thank you so much. Mbale Express Media. My name is Wakoli Arafat, the president of Security Shield Bouncers Association, but I rather prefer being called the president of Bouncers Eastern Region, because that is what I was accorded recently. But particularly, I lead an association in the name of Security Shield Bouncers Association that is located at Petro, Uganda. Yeah.
So how did you come out with this idea of the association?
Now, as we all know that whenever you are planning success, the first step is always the hardest. Once you make that first step, the second, the third, and so on might seem quite simpler. Though most of us, we tend to give up in the first step. The association I'm talking about gathers boys from Kapchorwa, gathers boys from Soroti, gathers boys from Bududa, gathers boys from Kenya, gathers boys from within Mbale district or city. So gathering up those people is not an easy task, because the population you're talking about here is a population of 150 to 200, of which includes both gentlemen and ladies. There is gender balance in our association. So the first step was gathering these people. But before coming up with that idea, these are people that have been living within the same society that I see are going wrong. You find out that some of them were my neighbors at my place, Kampala Road. And you see they're dealing in activities that are bringing them down in day-to-day life. So I came up with this initiative that how about if I get this boy, I get this young girl who is busy doing drugs, who is busy doing alcoholism, and create a foundation for them that will keep them busy, so that at least at the end of the day, they have something to take back home to either their parents or their wives. So I came up with this initiative majorly from those street boys and girls that did not know the true meaning of life. So gathering them was very hard. That's why I said the first step is always very hard. So I started up with about 15 of them. That is, I remember there were 80 gentlemen, and then the rest were girls. So as people saw this working out, they gained interest, like, let me also come join, let me also come and join. So we went up growing, then we did the documentation, paperwork, and finally we came up with our office and a population of 175 bouncers confirmed in Mbale, specifically our session. So the reason I said they accorded me the title of bouncers, of President Bouncers Eastern Region, is because that task was not an easy one. So people appreciated, and the head of bouncers in Uganda appreciated. That's why he accorded me that title. So that's how I came up with the association.
We are reliably informed that you have a circle. How did you come up with this idea of saving? How did you impart it into them that whatever they get, at least they have a percentage which can be saved?
Now, savings, of course, in simple terms, this is the money that is left after spending from the earned money. Now, being an association or a group at the same time, you find out that one of the issues that will uphold the association or keep it moving is finances, because without finances we cannot. Now I had to instill in them the spirit of saving, but this was very hard at first. You are telling a street boy or a street girl, please, in the little money you've earned, be it 10,000, be it 5,000, kindly reserve 2,000 and deposit it in the group for savings. That is your money. So it was very hard to convince somebody. Somebody looks at you like,
you want
yes,
you want to eat their money.
Exactly. Looks at that fraud. Looks at you as if you're on a mission. Exactly. Yeah. So some of them took it like it's a burden. Some of them took it like as though I'm on a mission. I am looking for capital. It was very hard to instill the spirit in them. But those that had belief in me started saving. And of course, they always say you lead by an example as a leader. So I started saving myself. My secretary saved. And two others saved. So when they appreciated the spirit of saving, they're like, oh, okay, so this is how it is. So they started saving. As an assessor, so when the money got much and people bought the idea, I realized the money is coming in a lot. So for transparency, I had to ask my treasurer, I had to ask my secretary to go to the bank, so we can come up with an account in the bank in the names of Secure Shield Bouncers Association. So that if the money comes in, it is straight wired or channeled to the association account. So when I brought that issue, that's when like, yeah, I think now we are working with the right person. So they feel now their money is safe. Yeah. So more came in saving. Now from that association, I realized that, I'm trying so much to lobby for these boys and girls. So I realized that from this association, if we can form a circle, I think we can be able to be recognized by well-wishers. We can be able to be recognized by this government program. So we formed up a circle in the same name, that is Secure Shield Bouncers Circle. Also with its own account at Pride Microfinance Bank.
Okay.
Yes. So there are those who are saving in both the association account and the circle account, and then there are those who are saving in only association account and those who are saving in only the circle account. So we have two accounts, but under the same group. And then the two groups, that's the circle and the association, under the same group. Yes.
So after coming up with this idea, how have the leaders supported you as a circle and as an association? For those you have approached,
I'm grateful that many of the leaders that have paid us a visit, many of them I do not actually approach them. Many of them see this on net. They appreciate what we are doing. They appreciate how these boys are transforming. And then they come out and support. I think I will mention some of the leaders at the end of the interview, those that have been with us. But the leaders that have come through our offices, that is, they have appreciated the work and they have contributed. Yes, more so politicians. They always pass by. They're like, okay, so you people have a circle. I'm contributing this, but not for political reasons.
Gains, yes.
I believe they are giving out
In good faith.
in good faith, wholeheartedly, not in exchange for anything, because we are not worth being bought for a vote. Yes.
Being put on the market.
Exactly.
As someone who has worked with youths from different backgrounds, and probably those youths who have in different mindset on societies, what are some of the challenges you faced working with the youths, more so in terms of saving or having one thing to go with? For instance, you have an idea, to ensure that everyone buys the idea.
Before I even get further, the greatest challenge I've faced with these youths is in discipline. In discipline. That is the greatest challenge I faced while I was starting this initiative. You find out that the people you are leading, many of them are way older than me. So you find out that somebody a bit younger than them, advising them on what to do, they find that as an insult, as you're degrading them, like you're not supposed to do that. But once a leader, always a leader. You should know how to handle different people.
Crisis management.
You don't answer an angry word with an angry word, because you know what comes next. So for such a person, I have learned each and everyone is behavior. So I've faced so many challenges of indiscipline, but the way I've nurtured my children, I call them my children, they're older than me. They have nurtured them to the extent that I even arrested them. Yes, once I find doing alcoholism, of course alcohol is okay, but there's that too much and that unnecessary time. I arrest you. That's when I have an agreement with the CPS. That each time I send a bouncer, don't ask why. Just put them in a cell as discipline, at least for one day. By the time they come out of there, they will be changed, they will be reformed. In terms of theft, I arrest. In terms of fighting, I arrest. Because I've trained them not to, as people, not to look at themselves as bouncers. We are mugged. You're supposed to beat people. No. I do not advise them to beat people. Their role is to defend, not to beat people or guide, more so in crowds, because that is their area of interest. So in cases to do with anything to do with the indiscipline, anything to do with the torturing civilians or clients, I always arrest them as discipline, and they have appreciated that. So if there is any case, if any one of them has done anything, they run to me as quick as possible before I take measure. They're like, no, I've done that, but please, I'm sorry, I say how to handle them. So with the case of indiscipline, I believe my bouncers are disciplined. And then, still on your question, on terms of savings, like I told you, many of us have a weakness. But once you get money, you're not stable. You'll only become comfortable when the money is over. So when a bouncer, maybe they have gone out, you have sent them to Kapchora to work. Somebody has gotten 100,000.
Problems comes.
Exactly. Now the time of saving is now when they say, but you see, President, my family, you see rent, you see, my daughter is sick, you see school fees. Now if I save, there's nothing. So you look at this person as they are not looking at the importance of saving. So somebody will pour all the challenges they are facing in this world, and you'll be like, yes, sir, it's fine. You can go and use your money. After all, you made it yourself. So I faced such challenges that somebody is willing to save, but when they don't have the money, they are willing.
But then they get
When they get the money, problems will flash in like, no, I have
Yes.
challenges. So we face so many challenges, and of course, if it's somebody's hand money, there's no way going to force them that do this. No, this saving must be out of
Voluntary.
heart. Yes,
Yes.
you save. No, this is my money, and at some point it will help me. And by the savings are very important in a way that, for example, COVID. Some people that were affected were those that had not saved. So if you had something in your account, in your pocket, or wherever we keep our monies in, that's the time now those emergencies could be solved or worked upon. Yeah.
When you look at the generation we have, many people get the money, but at the end of the day, someone reaches in their 40s, their 50s, and no investment at all. What do you think is keeping us, the youth, in poverty?
It's fortunate that I'm also a youth. What I think is keeping us, the youth, in poverty at our early stages, majorly, actually late stages, because this is the stage when you have the energy to make the money. Before I land on your question, I want the audience to know that there's a stage in life you cannot have time and money at the same time. You either have money
Oh, you have time.
or you have time. By time I mean time for, let's say, relaxation and other things to do your free things. So if you have money, you may not have the time to do that. If you have the time to do that, then you don't have the money. So we find out that in our youth stage, we have the energy. We have the energy, of course, to look for money. Now, when you get the money, we are persuaded with small things, materialistic things. We look at useless things as important things. We look at now, I've made a deal, gotten, for instance, 1 million or 2 million, like the boys I see in town. Now somebody looks at going to club as a necessity, as something that they need.
They prioritize.
Exactly, you prioritize in fun other than investment. So if I know that we spend on useless things like clubbing, we spend on useless things like womenizing, we spend on useless things like dress code.
Especially the second point.
Women eating money.
Exactly.
Girl Charles.
And you know, that stage of youth, that is when you feel like, I need a lot.
Yes.
So I need to impress.
And the women are more than willing to eat our money.
Exactly.
They're never hungry of money.
Yes. So as a youth stage, you prioritize in fun instead of investment. Now, by the time you clock in your 40s, 50s, that's when you realize that the true meaning of life and money. That's when you realize that, I have a family to feed. I need a house to stay in. I can no longer rent. I need assets. Where now the energy has deteriorated and the time. So you end up struggling. In your late ages, instead of struggling while you're still in your youth stage, now you're struggling in your late age. And that's when you now feel like the earth
is out of hand.
Is out of hands. So that's the mistake we do. The youth prioritize in fun,
Over
but not investment. Now when we are now regretting is now when we now think of prioritizing in investment and not
like
fun. Exactly. And when it is too late, but it's never late anyway. Yes, it's never late.
You can start from where?
You can start from wherever age you can be to be a better person. The goal is to be better.
How big have girlfriends and the side chicks affected our well-being?
I don't know why you're embarking on that point.
No, it's a general point.
Why is he embarking on that point?
He has interest.
Yeah, it's his area of interest.
He has interest. Maybe another issue is we are looking at this generation where in our country, for instance, Uganda, where we have the biggest percentage, and that is the youths.
Yes.
Is it 75 or something?
Yeah,
The
75.
statistics?
Yes, percent of the
7%.
total population are youths, and these youths, most of them are unemployed. Some have papers with no jobs. Some of them have no papers. And you have youths which are totaling to almost 200 in your custody,
Yeah.
whom you protect, one, whom you feed, because giving someone a job, you're feeding him or her, directly or indirectly.
True.
And we have seen some of the associations where youths, even those who have money, come up with some associations or groups. And for instance, they can have a group, a working group, very active. This group lasts probably maybe 6 months. The group is very active, very active. Probably they are saving, they are doing things together, they are having some little investments, blah, blah. But a year clocks in, they start accusing each other, probably maybe for this, who did this, who did that. And the once prosperous group end up, in shambles, just like that. And what do you think is limiting or hindering youths to have long-serving groups?
The answer is simple. Greed. The money that is collected as a group, or savings that is collected as a group, can never compare to a personal saving. We're looking at the money collected as a group as a huge amount of money.
Yes.
Compared to personal savings. Now, this money that is collected as a group, usually we have majorly 3 heads that can access that money. We have the chairperson, we have the treasurer, we have the secretary. Now, because of greed, accompanied with the problems that these 3 might have, they look at using the group savings for their own interests. And of course, issues with money, our business, we expect losses or gain. So these people might get this money, thinking we are going to use the money, bring it back. Somehow, somewhere, the money might die from there. Then it will now start blame game. No chairperson, no secretary, no treasurer. Now that's when those issues come out. And this will attract the attention of the other group members. And that's now, we will now hear fire in the mountain, where they will blame the chairperson, where the chairperson will blame the treasurer, where the treasurer will blame the secretary. And of course, when all that is summed up, that will automatically lead to the failure of the group, because trust is broken. And like I told you at the start, finances and trust are the fundamentals to have a successful group. Exactly. So if greed comes in, you realize money is going to be misused. You realize trust is going to die. And when those 2 things die, I've not seen any group that successfully operates without trust or finances. So those 2, greed accompanied with the misuse of money, and the less trust, leads to group failure, which is not the case with our association. By the way, so interesting that in my association, when it comes to signatories, we have the principal signatory as me, and the 2, that is the secretary and the treasurer. Meaning, for them to withdraw this money, at least I might be aware. Now, the good thing is that I am not depending on the group. This group, by the way, let's say it's a form of charity. I'm giving in, but I don't gain from it. I'm giving in. Because after all the money these boys make, they all carry it to their homes. Yes. So me, I'm instead giving in. I'm buying for them uniforms. I'm paying for them rent. I am feeding their families. There's a lot I'm doing for them. So in most cases, this comes in when a person is jobless, or when the person is only aiming at that group money. That is when the greed comes in. But now, because I have different businesses I'm doing out there, I do not have time to look at it. Their session savings.
And maybe to supplement on that, I think one, there's this thing of you can come up with a group, and at the start, you'll have almost the same ambition. We want to save, we want to come to reach to this stage, to this level, blah blah. But some of our members, or some of the members in this group, have maybe different ambitions. For instance, you're in the group, your target is to buy a piece of land. Someone is in the group, wants to achieve maybe a car. Someone is in a group, wants maybe to finish education. Someone is in a group, wants to marry. So you find that someone, yes, is having an ambition, but some of the ambitions really are not called for. One. Two, I think limiting or time frame is also important. You come up with a group, a savings group or an association, and you say, we want in 4 years, we have bought our own car. In 4 years, we have each one is having a plot of land. But because you have these goals and ideas, but problems come along the way.
True.
As you are saving, because you might have saved maybe, let's say, 1.5 million Ugandan money. When you're about to withdraw the money, along the way, you get a problem of 600,000. That's how the savings is cut. So you almost go back to where you started from. And you remember you had set your probably an alarm that in 2 years' time I need to have a 50 by 100 plot of land. But the money has been taken by 600,000. And someone will reach somewhere and say, man, these things are not working out. I think I need to find the other way. I think that is also important.
Yes.
And I think it is one of the issues our youths, or we the youths, are having, that we give everything time. Forgetting that this time, yes, we might set time frame that I want in 2 years' time I have a vehicle, I have a plot of land. But along the way, in 2 years' time, in 1 year's time, you get a problem where your mother falls sick and needs an operation, and you don't want to stand in for the mother. Your sister is just out of school for fees. You have to top up probably. You see where the money is cut.
Yes.
And so I think, to me, I think one way, if we'd have a successful association or groups, probably when money is involved, we should limit time. Like we should not think of time. That this group we are coming up with it in 4 years' time, everyone should be well off. That's not the case. It might come up like that. If God really loves you, it might be different. That you have this group and problems are like problems, but still you're having problems, but they are being solved by money coming from this group. We tend to forget that. Yes, we are saving and we want to buy a plot of land, but this saving, it is the same money I'm using to solve other problems. What if I was not saving? What money I would have used? So, and I think maybe one thing I wanted you to hint on, almost every year or 3 times a year we see people graduating or children graduating.
Working under principles. For example, that association, mostly on the issue of savings, we have set strict principles. Before I came up with savings, I sat these children down. I taught them financial discipline.
Very important.
There is no successful person I've seen that does not have financial discipline.
Very important and very key.
Everybody that has achieved whatever he has, as long as income or asset, those people always have financial discipline. Now, when you say saving, someone saved the 100,000 like today. Then next morning came, I've just got an emergency. First give him that money. I first go and use it, I bring it back. I told him, my friend,
You've saved already.
principles will always be respected and followed. No matter what you do, whatever you do, I will not give you the money. The fact that we agreed as an association. Now, when you agree to save up to a certain period of time, it will always be like that. It's like, for example, these boys that are recruited to go in I don't know, train, is it army? I'm told once you enter inside there,
That is it.
you don't come out until
You graduate.
exactly.
Yes.
The same way with the banks. Once you agree to put your money in the fixed account,
That is it.
even if you lose your mother
That
or your
money is
child,
not touched.
you will never get it until the time you agreed. That is when you can have it back. So I've also set those strict principles, not because I want to make them suffer, but because I want them to learn the hard way. The man that is saved, you're not supposed to even look at it. You assume that money is not there. But once you know you have saved that, each time you think about it, you always want to go and
Withdraw.
withdraw that money.